Trade Commissioner, thank you for joining us on the show.
It's my pleasure. Thanks a lot for having me.
How's everything with you?
Just fine. Everything running smoothly and with no extraordinary news, which in the present times is the best you can say, given the circumstances.
I agree. Same here. All is good considering the circumstances. So let's get to. Thank you. So let's get to know you. You are recently new in your post, correct?
Well, I've been here in this new post for about a year right now.
Oh, okay.
But then again, coming to the extraordinary circumstances, it's been a very unusual year. And in a way, I'm still at the beginning because I'm still getting to know some of our counterparts, getting to know some companies I didn't have the chance to meet when the whole pandemic started. So in many ways, I'm still in the introduction part or at the beginning of my posting here in Miami.
Got it. So some of your background, obviously you're from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And were you always in Spain before Miami?
No, actually, this is my third posting abroad. Just to let you know about my professional background a little bit. I am a professional career civil servant in Spain. I belong to a group of civil servants that is called state economists and trade experts, what we call in Spanish, técnico comercial y economista del Estado. And this group of civil servants works in the economic areas of the Spanish administration. Just to give you an idea, I've worked at the Spanish Treasury, I've worked at the Spanish Comisión de Defensa de la Competencia, which will be the equivalent to the antitrust bodies here in the US, the Department of Justice, which is right now making all the news with the Google case. And I've also worked at ICEX, which is the Spanish Agency for Trade Promotion and Investment Attraction. So I've touched different areas from the economic part of Spanish administration over my career. And I could say I have specialized in competition and regulation and internationalization. And I believe those work very well together because I'm really convinced that competition in general in the domestic market and in the international markets is a driver for innovation and for growth. So this is generally speaking what I've done over my career.
So the Trade Commissioner post is what brought you to Miami?
Yes, that's correct. Because being a civil servant at the Secretary of the Spanish Secretary of State for Trade, one of the career opportunities that we have is to work as Trade Commissioner at the Spanish embassies throughout the world. And this is my third posting. I've been blessed with great opportunities over the past years. I was a Trade Commissioner of Spain in Brazil, stationed in Rio de Janeiro for 5 years. Then I was in Mexico for 4 years. And right now I have been for about a year in Miami. If I keep going up north geographically, I might end my career in Toronto, but we'll see. That wouldn't be a bad position at all either. I mean, in my profession, if you like Latin America and America in general, I believe I've been very lucky with my previous positions and with my position here in Miami.
Awesome. That's great. I mean, Toronto here is great. And I recently had a conversation with the Canadian Consul General, and we had a great conversation about Canada, Florida, and Miami and the relationship. So
a lot of connections, of course. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, a trade commissioner, what does that position entail?
Well, what a trade commissioner does is, I would say there are two sides to the job. There's a more institutional side to it, in which I have to connect with institutional players in wherever that I'm posted, right here in Miami. So I work a lot with the Beacon Council, with Enterprise Florida, the Florida Chamber, Miami-Dade in general, and my job is to be able, with those connections, to help Spanish companies that are wanting to establish themselves here or do business here in general. Spain's got around 100 trade commissions scattered throughout the world. Generally, those trade commissions are embedded in the embassies in the capital of the different countries. But the US is such a big country and such an important market for us that we have 5 trade commissions in the US. Of course, there's one in Washington at the embassy, but then there are 4 others in LA, New York, Chicago, and Miami. And from Miami, actually, I do not only cover Florida and Miami. I cover other 8 states, from Texas to Florida and the neighboring states. So I go as far up north as Georgia and Tennessee. Carolinas are not mine.
Okay. So companies in Spain that want to come to the US, one way of doing so is by reaching out to the trade commissioner in that country, in this case you, if I want to come to Florida or Texas, and you will, with the contacts that you develop locally, you help me bring my business to Florida. Yes,
that is correct. And there are many different ways in which you could need my assistance. You could just need information about maybe regulations or tariffs or specifics, I don't know, with FTA, for instance, if you were talking about our food products, and I can give you that information and that will be it. Or maybe you need more assistance and then you want me to help you find a client or find a distribution channel, or do you need training in a specific sector, or do you need more elaborate market intelligence? So I can study your specific product, your specific niche, and offer you options, solutions to what your approach to business in the US could be. That's talking about exports of goods. It could also be exports of services, or you could want to establish yourself here, which is generally another step in the internationalization of a company. Generally, you start selling their goods or their services, but many times when the time comes and they have developed a stronger relationship with the market, they want to invest. And I help Spanish companies, small, medium, and big companies, to establish themselves here and look for opportunities, look for clients, look for partners. That's another part of our job here.
So with these services, is this something that you offer? Is there a fee for Spanish companies, or is there, like, depending on what it is?
Depending on what it is. For, so to speak, regular information, we don't charge anything. If you're going to require more of market intelligence or a specific service, wanting to, for instance, you want to come visit the country or visit 2 or 3 states and try to contact potential clients, and you want an agenda, those services require a fee. Again, we're public servants. This is a government office. We're not going to charge you as much as maybe a consultancy company will do, but there is a small fee for our services.
Sounds familiar to the American Embassy service of the Gold Key service, where they do something like that, where you can contact the embassy, the American embassy in that country, and then they will, depending on the level of service that you want, they can look for potential business partners, or they can look for clients, or they can look for
Mhm.
with their network. And then depending on the service that you pick, they can even go from going with you to making that first contact or just providing you with the information. But yes, compared to an actual consulting firm is significantly worth your money, especially if you are a medium to small company.
Yeah, those are generally, so to speak, the core of our clients, small and medium-sized companies. Of course, we work with any kind of company, and many times we work with bigger companies that are established here in the U.S. But I believe that those that need us the most are the smaller ones, which have great services, great products, but sometimes cannot afford or don't have the time when they're starting to approach the market, and we provide that service.
Perfect. So we're looking at information, looking for clients, training. I like that part. I thought that was pretty cool. Training, market research, and seeking out partners.
Yeah, and there's also another part of our job which I didn't mention yet, because we were thinking till now about the export flow from Spain, or the investment or establishment of Spanish companies in the U.S. But there's another part to it in what we do, and it's looking for investors that see Spain as a good opportunity, and helping U.S. companies establish themselves in Spain, which is a great opportunity also if you're looking at the European market. So Spain can be your gateway to Europe, and that is part of our job also.
Okay, great. So it goes both ways. You help bring Spanish companies to the United States, but if I wanted to take my company to Spain, I can definitely reach out to you, and we can have that conversation in terms of like the benefits and.
Yeah, the benefits, the best location for your business, and then we can pick you up with our experts back in Spain at ESEX, Investing in Spain, and try to help you in many ways. We work with companies from several different sectors, and I believe we're being quite successful in this regard.
Perfect. In relation to the consulate, I understand that each country functions differently and they have different interests, or they focus on different strategies. Some have a trade commissioner within their office. From what I understand, your office is separate from the Consul General of Spain here. How can you explain that dynamic?
Well, of course, we work together, and we're part of the Spanish administration or representation here in specifically in Miami. But actually, the Trade Commission is part of the embassy. And as I told you, generally there is one embedded in each Spanish embassy throughout the world. But the bigger difference is that we report to the Ministry of Economy and to the Ministry of Industry and Trade, and the embassy and the consulate report to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But of course, we're all, the consulate and the Trade Commission here in Miami, we're coordinated by the embassy, and we work together, and of course, we're complementary, and we reinforce each other's activities.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, we're gonna do a little quick check here, a mid-time check. What do you think so far? Smooth?
Yeah, no problem. Did you find it was all right? Do you think we need to add anything?
So far is great. We're 13 minutes. Perfect. I think we covered a lot of things. What you do, what brought you to Miami. I'm going to pause here. Your trade commissioner, the relationship between you and the consulate. We already talked about the services you provide, right? We already kind of answered who should consider communicating with your office. That kind of like was entangled with so I'm going to move that one. And we can talk about, you mentioned the presence of Spain in Miami. That could go well with the Spanish community is large and active in Miami. Can you share with us who should consider? No, whoa, it's a double question. We can talk about that there.
About what, sorry?
You wanted to talk about the presence of Spain in Miami.
Yeah.
Okay, so we definitely hit that. That kind of probably going to go with my question of what is the role you play in the trade between Miami, Florida, and Spain.
Yeah, we have sort of covered that, but we can we can dwell a little bit more on that. No problem, and connect with the present Spanish companies and the rest of the questions, of course.
Copy. If there was anything you want to share too, please, we can definitely talk about that.
I believe we're doing fine. Thank you.
I agree. Okay, we're gonna continue. So I understand that the Spanish community here in Miami is very active. One of my first contacts was with the U.S. Spain Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Very active group. And can you share a little bit more about that?
Yes, of course. Well, actually, the U.S. Spain Chamber of Commerce is an official chamber, and we work very closely together. I'm part of the board, and many of the activities that we do jointly, and they are an important part of the Spanish community here in Miami. Actually, I believe there's a very strong presence of Spain here. I mean, it's hard to know the exact number of Spanish companies, but according to our records, there are over 400 Spanish companies in Miami only. So this is a big number. Yes. Like we were saying before, many of them are small, medium sized, but then you also have a good number of strong, large companies that make a lot of investment in the US and here in the community and create jobs. And in the end,
going back to the functions of the office, what are your goals of your office here in Miami?
Well, I believe that our job is to increase the footprint of Spanish companies in the US. So I'm not talking about numbers, but my main goal, or the main goal of our office, is to raise opportunities and to be able to connect Spanish businesses with US businesses. That is our main activity, and be it in investment, be it exports, be it opportunities from US companies connecting with Spanish companies in Spain and to tackle the European market. Our goal is to increase the footprint of Spain and US businesses working together over the coming years, and I believe that there is a whole world of opportunity still to be addressed, and I'm really very excited about it.
I think you're going to find that down here. I mean, I'm sure you've already experienced it. A lot of people are very welcoming and open. And in just 2 years of when I was doing international relations for the city, I was able to grow our network in a very large way and very quickly. A lot of people were really welcoming and very nice. So I think it's going to be an awesome experience.
This is actually one of the best things I have found when I arrived in Miami. The international community and how international the community, the US community in Miami is, very open-minded and really supportive of anything, any new ideas or any new companies that have something to offer, and that is the way you judge whoever comes here. if you have something to offer, and that's what I have found. It doesn't matter if you're from Spain or anywhere else. If you add value, if you add value, you are going to be considered. And this open mind for me is invaluable in my work. And I try to tell Spanish companies that there is opportunity here if they prove their worth. And I believe there is many things to do.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That's good to, it's good to know that from the other side, and people that are coming, they feel the same way about our openness and connection. I know that we're running out of time, and I wanted to ask you, what is the best way to communicate with your office if I want to take my company to Spain or the other way around?
Well, you can reach out by several ways. Of course, you can come to the office. We're working from home, but you will always find somebody at our office. But probably nowadays the best way to communicate is to write us to send us an email to miami@comercio.mineco.es. That's not very easy, but let me repeat again: miami@comercio.mineco.es. Or you can write to me, francisco.garzon@comercio.mineco.es, and we'll be happy to help you.
I'll definitely also share those emails in the show's show notes, so you'll be able to find that there. Trade Commissioner, thank you for taking the time to join us and break down what the office does, how it contributes to Miami, and how come people can work with you and benefit and grow.
It was my pleasure, Alejandro. Had a great time chatting with you, and looking forward to collaborating with you in the coming months.